Hi there, welcome to Wine Searcher. Today I thought I'd take a look at a Spanish white wine. So we have an Alvarinho from Rias Baixas. The wine Pazo Barrantes is it's a 2018. It's produced by the same family that owns the famous Rioja estate of Marques de Murietta. And in fact this has been, I believe, one of their family homes since 1511, so there's quite a history there. Although there's a long history, and they probably did make wine there for the property for a lot of that. These vineyards are only planted in 1982, and then I don't think they built the winery until 1991. So a winery with history, but actually quite a modern winery. In between that, in 1983, I think that was when they bought Marques de Murietta and the Castel Ige in Rioja. But to this, Alvarinho, the grape variety, and Rias Baixas, a region in Galicia in northeast Spain on the Atlantic coast. Evidently the Rias that are referred to in the name of the region are fjords. So this is close to the sea. I mean, these vineyards are 2 or 3 kilometres inland, so there's quite a maritime influence in the climate, and that's where Alvarinho fits in here, because it's quite a thick-skinned green grape variety that is resistant to mildew, the rot that you'll get if it gets too humid. Particularly, they'll grow these on pergolas. So growing overhead rather than being on trellises along lines, which allows other agriculture to go on underneath. Quite often people have sheep grazing in the vineyards under the vines. It means they've got to be hand harvested, obviously, but it keeps the vines away from the early morning humidity. If there's a mist or something like that, it reduces the humidity they're exposed to. Alvarinho as a variety has a sort of a lovely, fresh, sort of aromatic, semi-aromatic note. You'll get sort of notes of pear, sometimes as rich as peach, lovely citrusy, fresh acidity. It can have a little bit of body to it as well, and predominantly produced single variety in Rias Baixas in Galicia, but also produced in Portugal, where it'll go into Vinho Verdes sometimes as part of a blend. This is from the Val de Salnes, which is the most northern of the sub-regions of Rias Baixas, and there is the best region for growing Alvarinho, really, because it retains its freshness better. It's the furthest north, it's the most exposed to the sea influence, and so the aromas are fine, the acidity is fresh, and they're great there. So let's have a taste of this, shall we? Looking at it, first of all, you've got quite a sort of a pale yellowish colour there. If we swirl it, there's a lovely, it's a clean, slightly sort of green pear aroma there. There is a sort of a citric lift there, but there's a ripeness to the peariness on there. Tasting it again, pear, lemony crispness, lovely sharpness. Making this wine, this is fermented in stainless steel tanks, so it's fermented cool over quite a long period, but to retain the aromas as much as possible. It's then bottled very quickly. I mean, it's picked in September, bottled the following March. So the only thing that this has to give it extra weight is the yeast lees, which are stirred up in the tank, but it ages in stainless steel tanks. So there are lovely clean flavours and this very fresh acidity, because the malic acid is left in there. They don't do a malolactic conversion, so this sort of sharp, tart, green, appley acid cuts through, and the sort of the weight of the nice rich fruit and the acidity gives it lovely length. It's quite a simple set of flavours, you know, sort of pear. It doesn't quite get through to the right peach level of things there, and there is an underlying sort of limey lemon cut there. People recommend this with seafoods, sort of shellfish, often sort of scallops or maybe shrimp or that sort of thing, and it would be a lovely combination with that, and it just leaves a beautiful freshness in the mouth, completely dry, and just at the end there you'll get sort of tiny touches of salinity. People say reminiscent of the sea that it comes close to, but really nice one. Because surprisingly, I mean, 2018. This is just over 3 years old, so possibly should have been drunk slightly younger, but drinking really nicely now. So yeah, Alvarinho, fantastic, fresh, enjoyable, easy drinking wine. Cheers, everybody.